to Recovery Inspired Hope. I am so excited. We have a great show for you today. My friend, Mr. Show Out TV here, special edition. Now here we are. So how are you doing today?
Fine, I'm doing fine, and hi to everybody that's out there. I have a channel on YouTube called Mr. Show Out TV, where I also talk about addiction and recovery. I met Jamie through some online sites, and she blessed my show, and we had an awesome time on the show. So it's only right for me to show my to give the feedback back to Miss Jamie as well. So thank
Yes,
y'all for having me.
yes. Definitely want to spotlight your story because you have such an incredible story. So just a little bit of background. Growing up, did you have any indication that you were going to have, problems with addiction when you were younger? Like any flags or signs that you can see now?
I really didn't have any flags or signs, as so to speak. But I'm kind of like predisposed to it in a medical sense because my dad was an alcoholic himself. So the chances of me becoming um, a big drinker was very high. So at the time through high school, I was very much into sports. I was like one of the best basketball players around in our little cities and stuff. And the thing was that everybody would smoke marijuana, drink, and we wasn't into the hard drugs at the time. It was just marijuana and beers and things like that. But then as time progressed, I got more and more into drinking. I stopped smoking weed and drinking became my drug of choice. And it's kind of led me down to a downward spiral in life. At first, it was just for recreational uses. And then, I found myself doing it on a daily basis. I found myself trying to drink a beer before I went to work in the morning just to maintain, And, after a while, the things just started to get out of hand with me. I really wasn't one of those angry drinkers. I was one of those sleepy drinkers. I was sleep and everybody liked me, things like that. So um, after a while, you grow up, you mature, and then you figure out that it's really not worth it. You're really not, it came between, okay, I'm gonna have to leave this alone, or you can lose your family and your kids. And I value my family and my kids. So that's when I decided to seek treatment. And when I decided to seek treatment, I think that was like the best thing I could have ever done in my life. I went to a facility near my city that I was in. I did 40 days there, and I soaked in all the information. I soaked in all my resources, all the people that own the facility. I still talk to them because one thing about it, when you in your addiction state, you don't try to reach out to your resources. So that's one thing that I did, and I still talk to the people that own the facility because we trying to partner up where I can be like a paid partnership program with me, and where the inpatients there, they will be sending them to me, and I will be interviewing them, like for them to be able to get out and and things like that. So some people like to go to their facilities and the rehab to just fake it to make it. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people there was just faking it to make it. That's what we call it, fake it to make it. Some women there was in there because they were court appointed, because they didn't want to go to jail, or maybe they didn't want to lose their kids. The DHS probably got their kids and things like that. Or it was some men in there that just didn't want to go to jail, or their fifth or fourth DWI, and that's was their final strike. And some people, me personally, I was just in there like, okay, this has got to be it. This got to be it, because I felt that, Jamie, a change just had to come. A change had to come, and like I say, it's a spiritual warfare. In
Absolutely.
life right now, Jamie, it's a spiritual warfare going on right now. And us as society and us as people, um, Satan is winning a battle on earth. He is really winning the battle on earth. He got his grip set on everything that is possible. That anything that we see on television, the society, the government, everywhere. He got his hands in everything. So what we need to do first is find our higher power, a higher power, and we got to admit to ourselves that we have an addiction. That's the first step. Is admitting. Once you admit it to yourself, um, that's when you can try to figure out. You can break down the layers and try to figure out what it is that causing you to do this. And so that's what I did, Jamie. I went to the facility, and that was like the best thing that I could have done, and it just changed my life around.
That is awesome. So inpatient facility. And then now let's talk a little bit about some struggles in early recovery. I have a lot of people asking me about, working and drugs in the workplace and being triggered by things. Early recovery is a hard place to be. So can you tell me maybe some experiences that you had in early recovery?
Yeah, early recovery for me is I stuck to the main core. Um, I stuck to the people, places, and things. I kept that structure. Um, a lot of people that know me, they knew what I was going through, and I didn't really have to hide myself from them. They pretty much did that on their own, and I would still come around them and still socialize with them. But when it came time to the kicking it and the beer drinking and things like that, I'll be the one over there with a 12 pack of Gatorade. And so they
Mhm.
was like they accepted it, and they really didn't try to push anything on me like that. So I give them real respect for that, But um, they're still, like I said, I'm a year and 3 months clean and sober. Um, the one thing that really led me to seek help, Jamie, was that I was a late bloomer, right? Okay, so I was a drinker, and I started using cocaine at the age of 36.
Mm.
And it took the cake. At first I tried it, and I was like, I was one of them people like I never tried a hard drugs. That was me. I used to pop a pill every now and then, but that wasn't my thing. But when I took the panties off of that cocaine, it was just a whole nother animal. And I went from being a sleepy drunk or a sleepy drinker to a person that was up all night thinking that my wife's cheating, causing fuss with her, and my whole attitude and everything about me just pretty much just changed.
Mm.
And it came a time where my wife had even took the kids and they had left. So I'm sitting in this house just I got a big bag of cocaine, I got 30 packs, I got gin, but the house is empty.
Mm.
And I'm sitting there like I'm looking at all the stuff on the table like this can't be it. Where did I just fall off at? How did this in 2 years? Now I'm doing this, and the kids and my wife gone, and I'm still trying to go to work. I'm still working. I'm working like at one of the best jobs in my area, the best paying, high paying job. But Jamie, I was still not really there. So to get back to your question, I really just didn't have any struggles because I tried to maintain the people, places, and things. I really tried to maintain that, and I do it. I do it right now because, like I said, I ride past the liquor stores, and I got rid of all the numbers to the dope man. I got rid of those numbers because as long as you have those numbers, because I even found myself going through my phone one day to try to find another number, and I seen a dope man number, and I just started tensing up. Like I looked around, I ain't seen my wife. I'm like, you know what? I can actually call him up right now. I can actually call him up and try to get one and try to act like things are cool. But I deleted that number. I deleted it. And these days we don't memorize numbers. So I deleted that number. And that's when I knew that I was breaking the chain. That's when I actually realized that I am stronger than that addiction as long as I keep my faith, as long as I keep my mindset of I can beat this and everything will be okay. So I just try to keep that mindset of people, places, and things. That's very important.
So your pathway when you went to this 40-day treatment, did you do steps? Like what kind of tools did you use?
They were really they was really using classes. It was a class. They had like women on one side, men on one side, but we would get together, we would do classes. And we would do slides. We would go through slides and really the people there would really just be straight up and honest with you. It was one woman that I talked to her, and she was also on my show. One of the women that kind of run it, she was on my show also. She was just in your face and tell you how it gonna be. You gonna either going to jail or you gonna be dead. Your kids gonna be gone from you. So you'll talk to the men and the women. You won't see your kids anymore. Yeah, I mean, it just when you put it all in perspective, you just gotta come up with a better solution. It has to be something better than what I'm doing. Because the way I've been doing it ain't working.
Right.
If it was working, then I wouldn't have been in that facility. So evidently I'm needing this. So let me just try to soak everything in. And the steps were to just try to, it was a lot of people in there that was detoxing, and it was just it really I soaked everything in. I soaked everything in. I took a lot of notes. I still got all my papers and all the stuff that we go through, the things we read. I still go over those today. The big book, I still got the big book that I read. So I got my daily bread stuff. And so I'm actually in college right now, and I'm taking some courses. That is why I'm devoted myself to go to school. This is my second semester in college, and I'm trying to get my master's in to become a drug and alcohol counselor, because I can share my stories. I know it physically. I've been there. I know what it does. But I wanted to know. I also want to get educated on the back end of it too, at that perspective. Yes, ma'am.
The science and the brain of it. And that's awesome.
Yes.
So I feel like, I know like spirituality is also part of your pathway. And it seems like service is part of your pathway, right? Because the things that you do, your show, you educating and coaching people, like that is service,
Yes.
So that is definitely something that I use to assist in my recovery too. Like I did step work, so I did AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, but my main part of my recovery is just service. So doing helping with things in the community and things like that. So what about like today? Do you have any big goals for like besides getting your master's? Like do you have any ideas for opening up? I feel like you've got something
Yeah.
something coming.
What I got in works right now, Jamie, I got like, I'm busy. It's like I was always very a smart kid in school, and even in high school, I had the demeanor of quote quote thug because I had a rap group when I was in high school, and I had gold teeth in my mouth, real ones, not the caps, when I was in 11th grade. So my demeanor, my appearance was rapperish, but the teachers and everybody like that, and the principals, they like, you hang with them, but your grades don't show this. You like, I'm like, because I knew how to handle my business and also, handle the street parts of it. I knew the game, I knew all this, but I also wanted to get my book, I was book smart. So what I have coming next, like I said, besides getting monetized, and like I said, it's just been a year for me, and my channel is just almost there. I'm thinking I might reach that before Christmas. Getting monetized, and I'm about to start my own taxi service. Um,
Awesome.
yes, ma'am. I'm about to start my own taxi service, and I already got the name trademarked. I'm gonna try to expand that. I'm gonna try to get some investors in it as well. Whenever I do start it, anybody that want to invest in it, I will reach out to you, Jamie, because
Okay.
in my community, around in my little areas in Arkansas, there's not one taxi service. So
Mm.
as I look into that, that's a void. I see that's a possibility of me making some income and me making some buzz there. Also, I would love to try to start sometime soon. Um, well, I'm gonna be patient on this. A halfway house.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew you had something in your mind that was going to come, either a nonprofit or some kind of treatment facility or something.
Yeah, because that's one reason I'm taking this school so serious, because if I get my master's and everything, I get my credentials and everything like that, and I got my business account and everything like that, and I'm gonna have everything up under my Mr. Show Out Media LLC. That's my brand, and
Hmm.
I got my clothing line up under that. I have my taxi service up under that, and it'll be a lot easier for me to try to get loans and things like that once they finally see that, hey, this guy know what is he talking about. He actually went to school for it. He's going to school for it, and he got his degree in this. So, well, let's see what he can, let's see what he can do with this. And in my area, there's not a lot of halfway houses either. So the things that I'm trying to do, I can be like the first to actually do it. So that's why I'm looking at things like right now, Jamie. Everything is on the up and up. It's all God's work, because right now where I'm at and where I could have been is totally different. I
Oh,
look
yeah.
I look at life and I cherish things now. Like I said, Jamie, like I was telling you, when I had emergency surgery on my stomach, that's a feeling that I never wish upon anybody. And me and my wife she had left. That was 1 week when I was in that spiral, Jamie. I was in that spiral, and I didn't even go to work for 3 days. So for Monday through Friday, I was drinking and using drugs, and an ulcer in my stomach erupted. They had to rush me. They was gonna fly me to Memphis on a helicopter, but they said the helicopter was gone. So we finna drive you to the. They had to drive me to the next city, which were like 20 miles, about probably 40 miles. And I stayed in the hospital. I had surgery. And at the same time, they told me I had COVID. That's the first time I had COVID. I'm like,
Wow.
what is God trying to tell me all at once? I'm riding the ambulance to get surgery, and I'm just looking up like, wow. So I give everything, I give all the praise to God, man, for having me, for blessing me to actually still breathe, talk to people, to actually function on his earth. This is still his earth. Even though the devil is running this shit, this is still
Hmm.
his earth. So I give all the praise to him, and all the glory to him for everything that he's having me to do. Uh, everything that he's installing in me. And like you also said, I really didn't even think about what I was doing was a ministry. I didn't look at none of that like that, Jamie. I had just started. I first started uploading videos to YouTube. I would record the videos myself, and then I upload and edit. So I have started to get good. I'm good as fuck at the editing shit. So I don't got, and the teachers and I be showing they all on my team as well. They be watching my videos. They be like, Terrence, you sure you might want to change your major because you kind of dope in this edit type stuff. And I'm like, so they're on my back too, and they rocking with me, and it's I'm just it's like I said, Jamie, it's a spiritual warfare out here, and we got to stay aware that it's still people out here that still do not want your best interest. Um, like I said, I was just uploading videos, and I never had any intentions of interviewing anybody or having people on. But one night, God just talked to me. This was the first show I had, and she was a minister, and I was like, you know what? Since I was able to go live, when you get to a certain amount of subscribers, you're able to go. So when I was able to go live, I'm like, I can do this. I can have a guest on here, and it all came in fruition, and everything just started coming through. And my first show, I went live on YouTube and Facebook. Then boom, boom, boom. Everybody hit me up like, man, we kind of see that you was doing it, but now you got our attention now. We thought that you were just humbugging it, but now you got our attention, and now we see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And that's when everything just started coming in play. That's when I started seeing a lot of my numbers going up. But as you see, Jamie, what we do, what me and you do, we will, whenever we do get monetized, a lot of our revenue will come from the memberships, because a lot of our revenue probably will not come from the views and all of that, but we'll still be getting ad revenue. But the memberships, the people that will pay memberships to see our stuff monthly, our true fans, our true core fans will be the ones that we will get revenue from, because YouTube ain't gonna really promote positivity like what we doing. It just, they ain't gonna just throw that up on the list to be shown regularly. Me and you, we have to work our stuff.
Yeah.
We promote ourselves. We got to dig in deep. I got to do this video. I got to, we got to go to TikTok. We got to show people what we're doing, because YouTube and the algorithm, if we started getting on there and talking about dope and guns and shooting, they'll skyrocket. We'll be right there with like the top
yes.
one.
We'd be making money for sure. Yeah. I know some channels that talk about just the craziest stuff. Like what? Why are you even talking about that? And who is watching this? 1.5 million views. What the hell?
I'll be looking at it, and it's crazy, Jamie, because them the ones that get monetized. They watch hours go up in 2 months. They really get there because people love to see content about somebody else's misery. Yeah. They love to see beef, and the extra stuff. I mean, but that was sales, so I can't knock it. But like I said, as long as we continue to do what we do, we gonna always have our core people. Yeah. And as long as we have our core people, and whenever we both get monetized, the membership programs, or however anybody want to get the memberships, they get access to everything new that we come up with, new content, and then that's pretty much the way we go get monetized. And as long as we keep our feet on their neck, Jamie, we good. Yeah. We doing it. So like I say, it's not too many people out here right now that's really trying to do what we do.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And talk to me about this. This is the last thing. I'm not going to keep you after this, but okay. How do you handle as you start to grow and start to be successful, you start to see that not everybody is happy for you.
I had an episode about that, Jamie. I had an episode. I had to have some of my Richie Valor. He is a musician and an artist on Spotify. He's very talented. And Lynn Jones, she out of Atlanta. And Richie from Pennsylvania. And them are like two of my core people that I rock with. And they were like always behind my back ever since I started the YouTube. And it was members in my family like, okay, we understand what you are doing. We happy for you, blase, blase, blase. But you need to stop your YouTube. I couldn't understand that. I could not understand why. But as I think about it, they started to see the message. They like, hold on now. He got something going. And see, the devil was using them to try to stop me from using it because I also talk about the emphasis of God.
Right.
Platform. So the devil was trying to use them to try to shut me down from that. And I wasn't having it. And even turmoil like with my wife's situation, and I kind of felt like she wasn't really rocking with me, like or having my back is the way I should, and especially what I'm trying to do. It's positive. It's like I'm finally at a point where you should be the happiest person ever. Why am I feeling like you do not have my back? You don't like any other YouTube stuff I do. You don't want to watch any other stuff. You don't support me in any kind of way. But I got to thinking about it and I talked to ministers and stuff like that. It's like the devil is using her.
Mm-hmm.
So to stop this momentum that I'm trying to do. And it was big tension about that. And I kind of, I have to let go and let God do his work on that. But one thing about it, Jamie, one thing about it, I see the potential that I have now. And I really think that it kind of scares her now because she sees that like, damn, I wanted this all along, but it's like she thinks that I'm taking off too fast for her. It's like I tell her I'm gonna still rock with you, but you have to support me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I need the most. I need you. I don't need these fans or this website or the people that I interview to tell me how good I'm doing. I need it from you. I need it from you. So we still working on everything. We working on that. So I'm just, but everything is good. Everything is love.
Yeah, man. Look, marriage is a daily work, man. I'm telling you, me and my husband just celebrated 1 year wedding anniversary, and it has been like the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Right.
Get married, like work. Right. It's like every day,
right.
like choosing to love, and then God will put you with somebody that's like gonna bring out your defects. You gotta work on them, right? Like, okay, Jamie, we're gonna teach you how to be forgiving. What? I'm not forgiving. Right. You're about to learn.
It's just everyday struggle. I've been with my wife for 14 years. We've been married for 10. And so she knows me personally. But it's like I talk to, my teachers and the first ladies at our church and the pastors, like, I just don't understand why she's not behind this. It's like, but maybe I had to figure it out. Maybe she was still had her guard up about me. Maybe, okay, he doing good, but I got to see if this shit go really last. Maybe, she probably had her guard up for a long time, Jamie, and that probably was one of the reasons why. And so now it's like, I don't antagonize her or anything like that. I let her figure it out. It's not no tension in the house, or I just let her figure it out. And whenever she's just ready to be there, I'm here. So, but at the moment, I'm not even letting her stop this, Jamie. I'm not even because I'm so I'm tunnel vision now. I
Yeah.
can see it. I can see what I'm doing. I can see my path, and my tunnel vision is direct. I see this taxi service coming up. I'm going to school. In the long run, I'm just trying to get this halfway house. And like I
Mhm.
said, I just want her to rock with me. That's it.
Awesome. Well, you definitely have got a plan, and I know God is behind you. And if God is for us, who can be against us,
Yes,
right?
man.
So, all
Man,
right. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story on Recovery
problem.
Inspired Hope. Make sure you guys subscribe to Mr. Shoutout TV on YouTube.
I already did it,
And
Mr. Show Out. Mr. Show Out TV on
Show Out
YouTube.
TV on YouTube, yes. And I'll put the links in there and everything. And we will see you next time on Recovery Inspired Hope. And make sure you also to subscribe to Jamie Tell on YouTube. And you guys have a great day.